More money, more prop. Okay, let me stop.
Why I'm still like Drew Barrymore every time I have a
with your leg.
That's what you comfortable.
That's where I'm comfortable.
Little leg cross. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Talkin Loud with Sid. I have my friend Jay here. I call him Joshua, but his surname on his handle name on all social media is Jay Maliq. Yeah. Today we are going to be talking about corporate America. Jay posted a really thought-provoking post about how corporate America is the extension. Y'all, the air still on.
I was literally about to figure out a way to turn it off. This show is still on.
Yes, welcome to Talkin Loud with Sid. We're back with another episode. I have my friend Jay Maliq here. As you guys know him on social media, I know him as Joshua. But I wanted to invite Joshua here today because he had a really thought-provoking post on TikTok. And he talked about how corporate America is the extension of systemic racism and how it has been used as a tool, another tool that they created because they're so crafty, to devalue the college degree and plant seeds of oppression through the motive of glass ceilings and continuously moving the goalpost. Mm-hmm. And so as two individuals who work in corporate America, you know, it's a double-edged sword. I think we can say that it has been extremely influential in changing the lifestyles that we have and the things that we've been afforded to do. However, you know, as Black men, we experience challenges just navigating the politics and the bureaucracy that you experience with being in that environment and oftentimes being one of few, right?
Right.
So, I guess I'm gonna let you tell everybody a little bit about yourself. I don't know what you want to tell them, what you don't want to tell them. I mean, give your high level. This is not your first time. You're always talking to people and doing fancy shit. So tell them what you want them to know.
Fancies. High level. I've been in Atlanta. I think this is my 7th year. So I work in corporate America on the tech side. I'm a young Black executive, so I lead really large teams focused on product and customer experience strategy. Outside of that, I'm a founder, so I am working in the tech space as well as a founder, as an entrepreneur. And beyond that, I just be chilling. I love me a good tequila and ginger beer, traveling. I really don't know. You know, I like to kind of infuse education, lifestyle, and corporate growth all together. So I think you can bring them all together.
Yeah. So you've almost kind of become like, well, you are, not kind of, you are the corporate expert, I feel like, on TikTok. You've amassed over 140,000 followers, while also maintaining a career, you know, in corporate America, but also now you kind of run a business because people are calling on you to be their coaches, be their mentors, to give them advice. What do you think about the state of corporate America right now and how that's linked to what's going on under 47?
Yeah, I think that post is actually a great depiction of what's going on, because even with the great big beautiful bill, which is great big and ugly actually, the path to being a lawyer, a doctor, or any type of master's or kind of advanced profession is going to be restricted even more because of the funding behind it. So I think that's just emblematic of the fact that it's going to be even harder for us to rise and to become something.
Yeah.
I grew up dirt poor. So I was the first in my family to break 50K. Yeah. Which ain't no money.
That ain't no money. No, girl, that's 2 cents.
Yes, literally. So when you think of that and kind of that experience, we're in a place where I think while the focus is on ICE and everything that they're doing, which is crazy, in the background, we're being oppressed more and more. And so it's just going to be really difficult for us to rise. So I think we have to go into entrepreneurship or starting a company of some sort of kind, because that's the only way we'll be able to get money,
Yeah.
supporting one another in community.
Yeah. So when people like hear that, like, you know, we have to go move into entrepreneurship and all of these things, like,
Yeah.
what are the industries right now? Because I know I'm a senior tech recruiter, right? So
Yeah.
I work in tech. I hire engineers, scientists, all that stuff
Yeah.
to come and work in the automotive industry specifically. But what are those industries, those environments that they can break into that are going to actually be profitable long term?
Yeah. It's always what they call the non-sexy businesses. So trades like
Yeah.
plumbing, HVAC. I mean, look at
Yeah, my
Shamia
dad.
husband.
I know, baby. Ain't rich.
It worked.
Baby, Shamia husband is rich, honey.
But there's this guy who looked at tax data by region, and every millionaire has some form of business like that. Every like major millionaire by region, based on tax filings. So they have plumbing, they do HVAC, they do electrician work, something trade like. And that, when you think about it, the need for it will never go away. It's just that because it's not sexy, people don't want to do it.
Yeah. My dad owns an HVAC company back at home. Yeah.
And they, especially once you start getting those government contracts and things like that, they pay pretty good.
No, they do. Yeah.
And we also have a need to be more represented in tech, right? I think less than 1% of founders that get funding are Black women.
Wow.
So, and if it's not one, it's definitely less than 3, which is still disgusting, disgustingly low, because there are companies, even as recent as this week, that are getting $100 million, $200 million in funding for AI-driven concepts. And a lot of us, we're the invention mindset behind the country. Like everything in this country was invented by Black people, just about. So for us to not get funding is scary, because it's another way in the STEM sector that we're not rising as fast as we should or could.
Well, to that notion, because I have degrees, I pulled out some facts. Okay, let me pull back my Barbara Walters Bob. So, out of executive and C-suite representation, only about 1.6% of Fortune 500 CEOs are Black. Just 8 out of 500, despite Black Americans making up about 14% of the U.S. population. Black professionals hold around 5% of senior leadership positions, while comprising 13% of the U.S. population. So senior leadership positions would include what, VP and up, or senior director and up?
Usually director and above, just depending on the size of the organization, because based on org chart, to put it simply, a director can have a lot of span and control.
Gotcha.
Whereas, like you mentioned, the senior director is an executive position. So director is senior leadership, senior director is executive.
Okay. A 2022 survey even reported that just 0.8% Black CEOs and 3.2% of senior leaders showed inconsistency in representation across the studies that they do of their own, like, in-house demographics. So, like, how companies do a lot of what they call kind of these comprehensive analysis, right? And so they'll do an analysis of the demographics of the company. What they no longer can. That's what I'm being told. But they'll do this high level analysis of, like, what the demographics of the company are, how much are people making, is it up to industry standards, all of this stuff. We saw that in 2023, Black employee representation had plateaued, holding just 16.8% of workforce roles, which went down from what the peak was in 2021. And roughly 41% of Black workers report experiencing discrimination or unfair treatment around advancement, pay, or promotions, higher than any other racial group. That came from the Pew Research Group.
Yeah.
And among Black workers, 51% say race makes it harder to succeed at work, versus 18% of white workers and 23% of Hispanic workers. So I thought that was from
striking,
the Pew. Yeah, because it's twice, almost 3 times as much.
Yeah. And it's so believable. There was another trend going around on TikTok and Instagram even, where some lady was saying if she works for a minority boss. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Where she doesn't want to work for them.
No.
And think that's just rooted in the idea of
The crab in the barrel
yes,
mentality.
not just that, but we have a really difficult path. Climbing the ladder as a
Yeah.
black man or woman is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
And so that's actually not my experience. Everyone who's ever given me resistance did not look like me. The people who looked like me have always been like, come here, let me pull you to the
Same,
side. Let
same,
me
yeah.
help you out real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Do this or do that. And that's how I've climbed. Like I'll remember the last company I worked for, the lady who then went on to be my direct report when I joined, wanted my job. So she would nitpick and go to my boss about the craziest things. Like I remember I was talking about a stapler for 1 month long.
I remember these.
I was working from home.
She was terrorizing you.
And she was terrorizing me.
Yeah,
She really
yeah.
tried to come up with every reason. So I work from home. I still write notes and print stuff out because it's my house. I do what I want. so I enter the one-on-one, staple my paper, my packet, move my stapler, and she tells my boss she had to tell me that if I couldn't stop being distracted, that we needed to end the one-to-one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, after he told me this, I pulled her to the side and said, now you know good and well you would never talk to me like that. Like you would never.
Joshua.
So anyway, I checked her real good about that. But we had so many problems for probably 3 months after that. Just
About a
because
fucking
she
stapler.
wanted my job.
So she
about a
used
stapler.
about a stapler.
Oh, and other things too. Like
Yeah. Well, don't you feel like oftentimes it's
Pardon
okay.
me.
It's okay.
pardon that.
This is real, raw, live.
Okay.
Don't you feel like it is often the situations with us are often exaggerated?
Absolutely.
Like
and that's
it's
the
always
point.
made to feel worse or be worse than what it actually was. Like we can say one thing and say it respectfully, say it in a nice tone, but then it's taken and misconstrued in a way that it was never intended for it to be. I think that we are perceived to be combative.
Exactly.
Even if we approach the situation in a level-headed, mannerable way.
Yeah. And I think that's rooted in the idea that they don't think you belong anyway in most instances. And it's not that every single person who thinks that, it's just that they're a part of a system that perpetuates that idea. So an example of that is when I give a directive to my organization, I've had 3,000 people report to me before. So when I give a directive, they're like, well, did you think about this or think about that? But then when a peer does the same thing, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why are you asking
Your
me?
directive is challenged.
Yeah,
Their
don't
directive is
question me. Just
yeah.
do,
Yeah.
And I don't lead with an iron fist anyway. It's just that it's natural for them to want to challenge or question things.
Yeah.
Particularly when they see someone in a position that they're not familiar with.
Yeah.
So
Is your goal, your end goal, to still be in corporate America?
absolutely, fundamentally, hell no. Here's how I put it. Like it's because of funding and things like that, which is possible. And I do believe that I can pierce that veil and get it for my startup. But even beyond that idea, just the bootstrapping it, I'm using the discretionary income from corporate America to build what I want to build.
Same. We're sitting on it today.
Yes, exactly. So those annual bonuses,
Yes, baby. Don't they go a long way?
They do.
Yeah, they
And
go
the
to Louis
equity
Vuitton,
and
too.
all that. It really helps. And that's another thing is I encourage a lot of Black people to work in organizations that give you equity. There's nothing like ownership. Like when I walked away from my last 2 jobs, I still own a part of that company.
In the business, yeah.
So if you can get compensation packages that include equity, absolutely do it.
Ideal.
Because it will set you up for long-term wealth. Like, the company I work for now is more than likely going to IPO in the next few years.
Tell people what IPO mean, because some of these people don't even read.
IPO is initial public offering. So think, I don't know, the first company that comes to mind is Walmart or Target. You can buy shares. So it's it's a public company, and so when my company IPOs, because I'm there before the IPO, like more than likely it would give.
That's gonna be
It'll give me. I've
good day
actually
for
done
you.
the estimate,
Yeah.
so
Ooh, good
I ain't
God.
gonna say the number.
I
But
told y'all he the richest friend I got.
the numbers are 8 figures.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So it's worth it.
Yeah.
You just got to see it through.
Yeah. And I know, like, we come from similar beginnings in the sense that we grew up in smaller communities, more humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Baby, your story, I ain't go through half the stuff you went through, okay? But I know that you went through some challenges, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like something that I want to talk about too is because I feel like so many people don't know about the opportunities that they have to make money. I know for me, like, I never knew anything past a teacher, a counselor, a doctor, a lawyer.
Yeah.
I never even knew that working in corporate America was an option for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people, a lot of kids especially, don't know that this is a pathway for them, albeit, you know, it has its flaws, but it is a way to kind of really, you know, bring yourself out of poverty and break a generational, you know, curse, and kind of bring new generational wealth, at least for, you know, a short period of time.
I agree. And so like I mentioned, I was the first in my family to break 50K. So basically my path to that was, I started in retail, so I worked my way up to be a sales manager at a small shoe store.
Yeah.
And then when I had the opportunity to go to a big box store, so think Walmart, Macy's, Kroger, I went there as part of their management team. So I went to Macy's. Still not making, you know, Macy's don't pay. So from
Macy's.
there, hey Macy's, how you doing? We will take a brand partnership. But from there, I went to the corporate side of retail. So I was working with the buyers and merchandisers and things like that. That gave me skill to just, you know, corporate skill, financial accounting, reporting, Excel, all that stuff. So I then used that to get into healthcare. So I started a contract job through a staffing agency at a healthcare company. It was a 6-month contract. And I did that and I networked while I was there. So the president of the network recommended me to another company. So I went on there, and that was actually my first senior leadership job. So I was an assistant vice president there. And I was literally like 21.
Wow.
Yes. So I reported to the executive vice president, and from there, I wanted to leave Ohio. So I left from Ohio, moved to Atlanta. But I did not, you know, I was young, dumb, I was having fun, drinking New Amsterdam every day. So I didn't actually learn how to spend the money I had.
Yes.
But, and you know, back in this time,
baby, it was a different time.
It was.
And it was cheap to live. Baby. It was outside.
My first apartment was $600 a month.
Yes.
So I'm making $75,000 to $80,000 a year. I'm like, okay, what's up? You know,
baby, hood rich.
I tinted out my Toyota Corolla. It was so ugly too. I mean, that tint was so dark.
Yes.
And then, so I didn't know how to spend money. And you know, back then when you made 6 figures or close,
a lot of money.
You were like on top of the world.
Yeah, baby. Now ain't nothing but a few cents.
That's minimum wage almost at this point. So, so I moved here, and because I just literally moved on faith because I squandered all the money that I did have. So I stayed in my car. Everybody called me Bishop, so I had me a Cadillac at the time.
I met you in the Cadillac. That's why I'm snorting. The first time I met you had the Cadillac.
But I was living in that Cadillac for a few weeks. And I will never forget, I was basically on my way to give up. I'm like, okay, I just need to go back to Ohio. This ain't gonna work. At least I know people there. I can get something. If I gotta be a GM at McDonald's, I will.
Yeah.
So as I was at the border of Georgia and Tennessee, I got an email that said, I've been trying to reach out to you from a recruiter. And I'm like, well, no, you haven't. But little did I know, I kept changing my phone number, so I didn't think about it. So it kind of slipped my mind. So I called her immediately. She offered me the job. And so I went back, stayed in my car some more. I did Postmates to make money, but that was only enough really to fill up the gas tank. It wasn't. So when I was really hungry, I was still the orders. I only did it 3 times. Yeah, but they did try to kick me off the platform. So hey, Postmates, how you doing? But I had no choice. I was kind of, I knew I would get money in really 4 weeks because you got to start in 2 weeks and then get paid. So hey, I mean,
and then I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, and the rest is history. So then that was a healthcare job. I left that during the pandemic just because it was the pandemic. It was tiring. And then I moved to tech. And from there...
You've been in tech ever since?
Yeah, I've been in tech ever since. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So...
I know that story, but I still
it's crazy.
You persevered through all of that.
I did. And it was really good because during all of that time, my family was still in the projects. So eventually I moved them from Ohio to Atlanta.
They all live here with you. Yeah.
Except my 2 older brothers.
2 older brothers. Yeah.
But yeah.
And your little sister, right?
Yes. Well, she lives here too.
She lives here too. Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah. Wow. That story is just, baby, a testimony.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
And I think that takes me to when we talk about grit. You know what I mean? Like, when I think about corporate America, in relation to the things that, and in relation to the realities that I know back at home, it ain't that deep for me.
Yeah.
It's not that deep in the sense of, well, it's a different type of game that you have to play, right? But
for sure.
It's not so deep for me that I began to lose myself in it because there are bigger demons and darker days.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
From back home, where and deep and harder struggles that I've seen.
Yeah.
Where it's like, baby, it's a walk in the park. You can't hold a good woman down like Mary J. Blige said, baby.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I think so many people engage in identity exchange. That's just what I call it, which is just the idea of like trying to assimilate to the oppressor so much to the point where it's like, just do what you got to do and move on. Like get your fruit, your benefit from it, and keep it moving. Because like you said, there's just so much more to worry about. And ultimately, the only goal for me as to why I even tried to climb the ladder was independence. I just wanted to make enough money so I can invest in businesses or a business and leave. Yeah. So I don't want to keep dealing with the politics because that's really what makes corporate exhausting. Yeah. Is all the games. Yes. Like the hiring games, the mental fatigue, it's did so and so mean it this way or that way? Nobody has time.
The cattiness. Yeah. The feeling like you're in high school. Yeah. What would you say has been the biggest lesson that you've learned throughout your career? Because you literally worked your way up, and then you were True Jackson VP at 21.
True Jack. The biggest lesson. That's a strong question. I think people. And I guess I answer this from the perspective of a leader, is that people will not always be impacted by your presence, but they will always be impacted by your absence. And I carry that into my personal life too, because you're here, but now that I know you show up, that matters. But when you're absent and you don't kind of show you care, people really don't care to listen to you or hear what you have to say. Yeah. So that kind of carried across every domain of life for me.
People won't
always be impacted by your presence, but they will always be impacted by your absence. Isn't that powerful?
Yes. Baby, that blessed me.
Yeah. My old mentor.
You say stuff and you ever have somebody say something to you, you don't even know what the hell to say back. You just be like, wow, damn, that's insightful. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay. And what would be, I guess, the biggest piece of advice that you would give someone like yourself, right, who is coming from humble beginnings? You want to be able to break the mold so that you can help take care of those that you love. What's the I guess not what's the formula, but what's the advice? What's the word? Can you give them for that?
It would be two things. So the first would be don't despise the humble beginnings, because I think for me, there was a phase in life where I was angry at my family. It's like, okay, who is anybody going to step up or break through the barrier like I did?
I got to do it. Yeah.
And that made me not sympathetic. And I actually am still not to this day, where like when people come to me with excuses, it's like, okay, I'll tell you the recipe, but you have to do it for yourself. Don't expect me to do it for you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are like that, where they're demanding that you show action. A lot of people in kind of spaces that have authority or pull, where they demand that you show action before they stick their neck out for you. So basically that just ties to the idea, don't despise the humble beginnings. Find the lessons there. And then when it comes to the path of kind of breaking down barriers and getting into spaces, it is the most important thing to do is to get in the room. And I mean, you have to mow down barriers and move things out of your way to make that happen. And don't be caught up on people's idea of you. Be kind, but most importantly, be fair. And don't, because if someone is going to perceive you as the bad guy.
Right. Always. Yes.
So don't get caught up in that.
And they don't need a reason to not like
Literally.
you. Yeah.
So don't get caught up on, just move people out of your way.
Yeah.
And I tell people, because on TikTok, maybe a while ago, somebody asked, well, is it true that you have to step on people to climb the ladder of success, whether that's in Hollywood or in corporate and yes, it is true. But it doesn't mean,
Joshua?
Absolutely. But it's not, you're not stepping on them in the sense of hatred.
Yeah.
You're moving them out of your way because they're going to slow you down. So really it's just another way of saying moving people and things that are distractions out of the way. And you can do that with kindness. That's why I say be kind. Because it's like, hey, I love you, but I'm not going to be able to spend as much time with you right now because I have to focus on this.
Yeah.
That's easier done than being shady and weird. So don't do it that way. Be kind about it. But technically you're stepping on them because you're stepping on their expectation, at least, to put it that way. So and the reason why you have to move people out of your way is because a lot of the distractions we think are just our habits, but it goes so much deeper. It's like, well, I spend too much time with so-and-so drinking every Saturday. And now that's slowing me down because every Sunday I need to be focusing on preparing for the week. But it's 5 o'clock and I'm still in bed because I was toe up last night. And that's every weekend. So I need to now move that person out of my way. You understand? So it's not a negative
You gotta
thing.
move a bitch out your way. You do. You really do. And I've learned that because what I've learned about people is that people will support you in your success. But people's support comes with expiration dates.
Oh, absolutely.
And I never really realized that. I always thought that if you had somebody in your corner, they were going to be in your corner forever. And just because somebody supported you through phase 1, 2, and 3 of whatever you were trying to build, don't mean that they're going to be there for 8, 9, and 10.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you do have to shuffle people out of the way. And sometimes it can feel transactional. But for those people who are ambitious and big dreamers, you almost kind of have to be okay with it.
You have to, because you will find yourself feeling bad for it. And it's like, okay, I hate that I don't talk to so-and-so as much anymore. And that's okay. Or people will try to make you feel bad for going on and accomplishing. But you cannot lift people up, or you can't lift people up if you're on the same level. Because you're on the same level. So what can you pull them to? So for me, in my mind, it's just the idea that if I keep climbing and keep thriving, I may never hit the mountaintop, but the fact that I'm 1,000 feet higher on Mount Everest, so to speak, than I was last year, now I can close that gap with people and bring them up that 1,000 feet. So just an example. But the reason I say it's important to get into the room is because if you are not in the room where where the decisions are made, you are 1,000% in the field where the consequences are received.
Yeah.
So
That's
you have to
true.
get in the room.
That's true. Or be connected to someone who can get you there.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely true.
And that's that, as you climb in any area, right, as an entrepreneur, as an actor, as in corporate, right?
Yeah.
There are people who have to open the door for you because they're in the room. So you have to get connected and just get comfortable networking.
Do you think that Black people misuse the impact or don't fully understand the power of networking?
I think Black people inherently, we understand the power of community. I mean, even when you think about Ebonics, for example, you have to be a part of the community to know it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's just one example. It's a million others. It's just that we can get so caught up in the politics of race that we forget that it's just the price you have to pay. Is you're going to have to know an old white man that look like Mitch McConnell. You're going to have to.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to get on his good side and say, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And you're just going to have to, because that's how the country is set up.
Yeah.
The country we live in. Yeah. So what's most important is to just find people who has a very clear progression to the life that you want, or literally the life you want, and get at their feet and ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, serve them. So serve people and show them that you have value. And 9 times out of 10, that will lead to 99% of the time, that will lead to an actual opportunity.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about who you know, it's about who knows you, who mentions your name that's in the room. Like when they have a problem to solve, well, do they say, oh, let me call Sad or let me call Jay? You know, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Not just.
I mean, and that's how I got the job that I'm in now. I got it because I made friends and made an impact with the director. She took a senior director position at this new company, which was a step up for her.
Yeah.
And she brought me on board, and asked me to come work with her. Of course, I interviewed and all that stuff, but she brought me on board with her. And when I walked in on the first day, my reputation superseded me before I walked in the room.
Exactly.
Because she had created this brand and this picture of me before walking into the company that I was one of the best recruiters that she had seen in her time. So I don't know if that's true. but I do what I can.
But it just shows that she believed in you.
She did.
For
yes,
sure.
She did. And I think it goes a long way. Relationship.
Absolutely.
Networking. That's why I asked you that question, because as I manage HBCU partnerships, in my 9 to 5, and as I'm on these campuses, with all of these students, these Black and brown students that look like us, something that I'm urging for them to understand is that you have to put yourself in front of the key figures. You have to put yourself in front of the key players so that the doors can open.
Yeah.
And
that's where, so that's about getting opportunities, but when it comes to actually being at a company, a lot of things that keeps Black people from progressing is that we don't give our work visibility. Yeah. So when we go, usually if we talk to our 2-up manager or skip level manager, it is about a problem. But hey, I want to talk to you because I've been working on this big project, or at least it's big to me. How does that align to your strategy for the department?
Yeah.
And now they're like, okay, so and so working on this big thing. Let me put them on another big thing.
Yes.
And then let me create a position for them.
Yes.
That's how. That's your key to progressing.
I make sure they know every motherfucking thing I do.
Yep. That's your key to progressing. Is no matter what level you're at, give your skip level manager visibility into your work. And that can go a really long way.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, we've gotten to the end of the episode. Y'all know it's my favorite segment. I said what I said. It's gonna be like a little
switch.
They come at the bottom, and they'll say I said what I said. I was
like
doing
that.
it the wrong way at first.
Oh,
so on the first couple episodes, it's gonna be backwards, but it's okay. Yeah.
You can get AI to fix that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna have you think of one while I'm doing one.
Okay.
Okay. We just gonna do one.
Okay.
The one that I have is I said what I said. Just be yourself, okay? Like I go to work black, and but at home I'm black too.
Hello.
My blackness does not have bounds. I don't restrict myself to not being able to say or be a certain way. Even as an openly gay man, right? I, as you guys know, love to play with fashion. I show up to work authentically, you know? I don't try to hide or cradle myself to a certain stereotype or prototype that I think they want me to be. If anything, I think that hinders you. I feel like it helps me stand out, and it helps bring a story to who I am. And for me, it has been one of the main reasons why I have been tapped and called upon to enter into certain spaces. So that's the tip I give them.
That's good. Mine would be take a chance, speak up, and just know that your voice matters. So find your unique voice and stick with it, and that'll get you really far. Don't be afraid to speak up in whatever room it is, whether it's your manager, your manager's manager. Just speak up and find your voice. That'll get you far.
In other words, bang on the system.
Absolutely.
Challenge the stereotype.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, friend.
That was
this
good.
is so good.
Absolutely.
You know, came and blessed the people with some corporate knowledge.